Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for our session entitled Intelligent Automation, From Respond to Reinvigorate, hosted by Symphony, a sites company. Over the next 15 minutes, we'll be looking at how intelligent automation delivers business continuity, especially in times of uncertainty. Symphony, a proud Automation Anywhere Gold capability provider, is a global consulting, implementation, and managed services firm that specializes in designing and deploying intelligent automation solutions that help our clients rapidly realize the full potential of digitized operations. Today's discussion will be led by Rachel Nash, Client Director, and Richard Mitchell, Chief Technology Officer, both of Symphony. It's now my pleasure to turn it over to them. Thank you.
With Symphony, our clients have long understood and capitalized on the high-impact enterprise-wide value that can be delivered through the strategic deployment of automation programs. But now, a growing number of companies who may have only experimented or been reluctant to prioritize intelligent automation as a major strategic initiative are now seeing a pressing need for digitized operations. Richard, can we get started by talking about some of the key drivers for this type of business transformation?
Sure. So I think we're seeing four common themes across our customers that are really the things that are driving automation, and in particular driving that as part of a wider transformation initiative. The first three really have always been around when we talk about transformation, and the third is probably a slightly more current and relevant. So taking those first ones really, I think the ever-increasing demands by customers is really causing a need for transformation. So we're continuing demands that our experiences are personalized and knowledgeable. So if you know me, then show me is the experience that we really want to understand. And that should be across whichever channel we choose to conduct the business, and it could continue across any channels as well. So we could channel shift as we go along. And those experiences should always be available. So if not 24/7, and the important things that are available now with as little intervention as possible. So we talk a little bit about frictionless experiences being what a customer wants in terms of that delivery. The second really is a traditional commercial pressure. So we've got the dual impacts of pricing pressures for products and services. So companies are constantly looking to get an increased market share through offering those services at a reduced rate, or through additional quality. But then also there is the pressure of maintaining margins or even increasing margins. And that's where I think we've seen traditional RPA and increasing intelligent automation to be used as a major cost driver or a driver for reduced cost. And when we've seen that done in conjunction with a sensible process rationalization and harmonization strategy, we've seen significant benefits. The third really is more around disruptors and the fast pace of new products and services that come into market and that are also being demanded by customers. And the ability that, or the demands that's then fueled customers needing to get those products and services out quicker, and as a result having to change their fulfillment processes. And coupled with that really is this tech-driven low barrier to entry for certain business models, and the creation of new business models that don't have the restrictions of existing legacy processes and legacy technologies, that also require some reimagination and rethinking of processes and transformation of those, of which intelligent automation and RPA can be a real benefit. Finally, and probably quite obviously, there's been the current COVID and likely economic downturn pressures. And that's really given a burning need to perform transformation for a lot of our customers. I think it's been said that the best time to do automation was probably 3 years ago. Now probably is the next best time to do that.
So with COVID, the global pandemic, and other challenges underway, some organizations may have stalled or even halted their plans for intelligent automation to instead focus on shoring up their resources and keeping the lights on. However, other companies are seeing the current environment as an inflection point and major opportunity to initiate a full-scale enterprise-wide initiative for intelligent automation. In fact, a recent survey conducted in April 2020 by HFS indicated that 66% of companies plan to accelerate their automation programs as a result. Please share your view, Richard, on how Symphony and our clients have fared over the past few months and your perspective for what we may anticipate going forward.
Sure. So I think we've seen a really consistent reaction by all of our companies and also by ourselves within Symphony and our parent organization. So the first thing really is just that initial reaction. So in light of the virus infections and restrictions that have been placed on employees and our consumers and customers, what do we need to do to keep lights going, to continue operating, if that's possible at all? And how do we do that where our workforce is now dispersed across different locations, and challenges and complexities that will have? And really, I think everyone has gone through that react phase. We've seen companies that have had to deal with initial huge spikes in call center volumes and contacts, through to a complete opposite, where there's been an immediate drop off from all interactions with customers. And that initial reaction has just been, how do I solid up? How do I continue my business continuity as I go along? Following that, I think there will be 3 phases. Probably we've already seen the next one, which we're calling respond. And respond really is where we're seeing a more rational response. So the initial impact, the initial react of what's happened from COVID has been understood, and what is likely to happen to their business models. And then we're seeing companies now start to put in plans in place to respond to that, and how do we adapt and shift. And I think this is certainly where Symphony and where we're seeing some other clients start to think about transformation and how we could reimagine some of that work, which then leads what we call into the 3rd phase, really, which is reimagine. And I think here we'll see companies start to think strategically as to a more long-term shift in a business model. So is this likely to continue? What happens when we go back to work? What would the scenarios be like? And here I think this is where we're seeing most of the transformation effort being focused and concentrated on. How are we going to reimagine the work that we do? How are we going to deliver it? How are we going to have some agility within our companies to help us do that? The last phase we're calling a reinvigorate, which is really how do we address those structural changes to our business that are led by potential consumer demand, through to the immediate end of the COVID and the economic downturn. And I think the focus here really is to continue on the agility. And I think whilst all those phases, I think it is likely that most customers will go through at least 3 of those phases. We maintain that intelligent automation is really at a focal point to be able to deliver some of these transformations and benefits to customers.
That certainly fits with what we are hearing from our clients, in particular the concept of not returning to normal, quote unquote, but instead organizations are focused on building a stronger yet more agile foundation that centers around customer experience. We're seeing a growing number of leaders with an increased appetite to reimagine and redesign the nature of work to improve the end-to-end customer and employee experience. Can you talk about the shift with how work will continue to evolve?
Sure, a difficult one, but one that we think we're really focused around customer or positive customer and positive employee experiences. We've traditionally been focused really from an RPA perspective. We've been focused on silos of traditionally back office automation, where we've looked to just have cost out. And I think what we're going to start to look at is combining an autonomous back office with an outcome-driven and automated front office to start thinking about an end-to-end customer journey and a customer life cycle. Key to that is really going to be a customer-centric design, and we will continue all of our initiatives to be led by that initiative to have customer centricity at the heart of the work that we do. I think within that autonomous back office, we're going to see 3 real major areas. So there's the move to digital operations, how I can use the Symphony Savo methodology to look to simplify the processes that we perform, and then to automate those, digitize and create digital inputs, and then how we can then transform that digital operations team to make better use of that. The next thing really would be the intelligent support functions. So how I can then use my support areas to be able to enhance and augment the people that perform the functions within the back office. So how I can start to create a more agile workforce, able to work alongside automation tools and to work across multiple functions just to make the back office more agile and focused on an outcome from a front office. The last bit really would be to add some elements of machine learning and cognitive technology services to enable me to make better decisioning based on increased insights. So looking at the data that comes from all the processes that we run, and to be able to make intelligent insights to help me make better decisions to suit my customer or my employee, whichever one is the focus. Combined with that, as you said, is start to look at a single one office concept that I think HFS coined, and that really is to combine the back office with a more outcome driven front office. And we're seeing here a focus for agents or contact center agents to be able to have augmented services, to be able to have the concept of an RDA assistant to be able to help them make better decisions, and to create personalized content for our end customers. And we're seeing that should be delivered through any channel, through any media, and the combination of human and robot workforce. The outcome of all of those and the collaboration of that is really to improve the experiences, not only from our end customers, but also from our employees. So we're looking at increasing CSAT, NPS type scores and metrics, and also employee SAT scores and reduce attrition rates across companies, just to overall give an overall better business outcome.
We've covered a lot just now. What is one thing you'd like to share with us as a leave behind for us to take with us today?
So I think in summary, really, there's never been a better time for companies to start a transformation journey and to really look at the future of work. In Symphony, we're really focused on that. We've got a range of service offerings that enable you to go from starting from a customer journey or a re-envisaged customer journey and a vision workshop just to help you understand the minefield and which way to go forward and progress from here.
Thank you, Richard. You've given us some great ideas. I couldn't agree more, and we look forward to taking advantage of the opportunities that we have before us now with the future of work.